0727 081605 gose 0727 574835 nigo bakwigura amatukonse sheiki mama TV mitumba obokoryo bya bwa mitumba urigene.
ATEKA TV oburabu bwagusi
wanchomoli yawe ATEKA TV nandengo kwaligania senkwana ya beneli tukeligalie Jumanne twatabaneke manyelele Jumanne honanachika okomanya buli tangani tole no mogania se studio omosaye mwanasiasa mu Kenya mwakie kurana arakabaka gutumanyia mange buna naralia gendereta sense ya Kenya naralia gendereta se county ya Nyamira na ninki kelito expected wese toka neiri kumanya kurwa sawa sawa kwa na bagate abuna bakomeke percentage yenene yaba kichukura sense ya Kenya na guchenchia oborai wense ya Kenya kogera na manganya rakabaga kogendera igona bogo sangamo n'intu sense meli ya Facebook buneta TV kogera nigo tore live na bogo se namba SMS 0735 333000 abo tuma ujumbe ya nyenye tomanyinga yoligereti korwa kuboli kwa onkoro kina boigo comment ya onerei itrashkinya kaba togo soma ekatoshkinya kaba togo kora nganchire mwaliga ni mogania se studio alanya kaba kabo tomanyie lieta na boigo ngayaru karibu sana.
Thank you my brother. Samarite nkoro kwa LAMECK nkeraria Nyamira township naende no Mosamo Kende naende have an interest yokuburia obuchumbe wa West Mogirango.
Ngochitoro kwanira yuwa senchero yowa oboyime nabo ye county ya Nyamira lakini nganjire nchake igoro mandamano na alengo. Okay, not really maandamano koinyora saba iyo yabete first held in 1990 if I'm not wrong. Ekaro borai bwalinge ko sebalinge kana single political party ko ruliensi ya Kenya. Aso mocho Nairobi I was saying my thing most of the time no gutoka abantu bage Thomas see there is a lot that was happening roadblocks in Chabege two people could not access their businesses but previously umo waziri public service na tetenga abantu badalikuwa ndega by saa 2 kwa kubale show cause letters but roadblock chikabekwa. What is your take on what was happening yesterday generally?
Okay, you know ase katiba maandamano na nchi ile naende the Kenyans babatu wasipole woko kirobata isa negeti nugora ibororo woko maandamana kera maandamano it is legal.
Yes.
So but for area the nature of maandamana ito abantu baito they like going beyond the expectations. Kero konyara bono instead of peaceful demonstrations konyara abantu ono baguchiko soka basali biashara by'abantu private investors. So because of the nature of maandamano ito but I think abantu babwente bono barairwa into ikorokwa I don't know how I'm going to put it but batakere waelimisho kwanza basomi wo maandamano ninki when you do peaceful demonstrations okay the main purpose ya maandamano ni ringa you want to send message to the government that you are not satisfied na services chikoenano so destruction of property is not part of it. It is the nature ya maandamano aita Kenya.
So from your side you are blaming
government ringo na abananchi
na bobato mocha
the limitations the intentions you demonstration is not genuine. To avoid that destruction of property because even to be around not once not twice it has been there for a long time. So to avoid that wona maskari na kibokoranga tiabatange wantambaika to destroy properties. But what is important is Kerabantuba turn it out. Already the message is out there. So that is the importance of this.
Lakini nganjiro moshimo iso enkobolinga ekarobate anga bananchi na bwate problem mini ntu arano no mosayo go shoot ku Nairobi olinge ko ni mask face mask. Don't you think ko moskali na bwata mama chekera ago tumika chimuro wetane kerengo asaba sai very peaceful because if you remember June 25th ya 2024 maandamano first 2 days igalenge and kachief amache nesim. So
okay, it is true. I've no mind. And I got a chance to correct clip career. Moskali Olia, he acted beyond his powers. Kera mtu ambaye utajia meti utabwati magena utabwati nini tokwanti komo shoot. The only thing you can do etia gastura murute ora murutere. So muskari uno ulina mochete lakini all the same the case is in court na ende kuna sheria atachukuliwa sheria yake. So in that one it was wrong.
So do you think abaskana about sometimes ngotumeka bali chinguru wetanika because sekara bakanda demonstrators bacha kuroso ni chitiagas osina machali echigali. Don't you think go provoke bale abananchi because baro bataka recommend in law and order?
Yeah, it is true lakini omaitewo no. I think you're not new in this country. Our young people, especially in Nairobi, because I've been there personally for a long time.
Yes.
I was in Nairobi, most of them, they're very indisciplined. We have genuine demonstration. But then to teach you group we were demonstrators. Abantu bale very genuine. They want to pass the message. Abantu baro they want to take advantage. You sell properties of private investors. So I think that is the reason okonyarabono is that komanyo montore genuine. It is so difficult. It's so hard. But going forward. I think that part of the demonstrations reach kidogo na lia bantu before they demonstrate it is genuine watu elimisho kwanza before they get out.
Na nchire ko boli bado ko rasa nseme ya maandamano tutachi ko ruo. Do you feeling a genuine reason sinchira bantu bakwandamana sense ya Kenya apart from wono gusali ko ibintu bya bananji?
Yeah, it is true because we skorire bono iga abasaya bangi bakwatigasi. I think no education system ito tiringia because okonyora abantu abange they have graduated very skogaiga gasinchio. And it is the duty of the government to find jobs for the young people because omuntu ga achire through the normal education system and qualified. So you know it is the duty of the government come an opportunity not more directly but create a conducive environment because abantu abange they don't have jobs because of corruption, you know. Okonyoro monto pakachiete cause you manyagitara ka graduate but to get the job as omerete you need to bribe again, you know. So part of the reason as to why people are demonstrating genuinely is because young people they don't have jobs and they are very desperate. Number two, ebi ntamaguri bya chiregoro. As we speak now, abantu mbare up to date. They live from hand to mouth. Almost 70% of the Kenyan population, they live from hand to mouth. It's only to sustain their food and maybe their basic lifestyle. But beyond that, they don't have any investment because it is not enough to sustain them all through. So I think also the economy is not doing well. Number two, we have over taxation. There's a lot of tax. Even those people in pay slips, even housing levy. And who are the beneficiaries? It is just a small population of people. So still there's a problem with that because that I think that part of housing it was not properly decided on.
Do you think inga serikali netegerere kia bananchi especially through korobekana because ntwaro chechi road block chiko beko state house parliament na judiciary na ande abantu barali babo tomunechi ku ndibamenyokia ba sa. Do you think inga serikali ne ibu abantu kubwa after barabukorobekana?
Yeah, abo igento bantu kumanyanga African countries tari na Kenya yoka African countries the only language governments understand
is
protests. That's the only language they naenda kotini nini kesi itakuwa inaahirishwa from one point to another, from 1 year to another. Paka wakora your term, still the case is pending in court. So the only language African countries and African leaders understand it is through demonstrations. Yep.
Mwana sana tuende kusanga no mheshimiwa Isoe kurwa se county ya Nyamiro iwe goro mosasensi ya Kenya kolengana neraga tanga to some extent abasaya na barabungo etani bale karaba korobekana to some extent abanyanyimbo na barabungo etani bale kolenda ekerengera likia onkereki nabokonyara kabako gutoma ujumbe yao nyara kabako gutomanya bona ekerengera likia onkereki maraba ya lero karaba igotoshunya kaboto kwanda siasa no bora ikurwa se county ya Nyamira kolenda nganjiro mheshimiwa nkoboli abera tatu ikurwa sense ya national tumaso ase county ya Nyamira Wone kira basaba rubekanire behind the scenes ngonta equaling about 2027. Abasaba nge previously banyarira bako mochigwa asoko tesokia na kubachora inu abasaba mu abali motetebero byoborai alafu baadaye bashaka kwemurunganira bali basoira soborai bate bantabwe emyaka ya chire mbali gukora kende. Do you think in 2027 abasaba bwate chance yoko make a change eri batayete bono?
Yeah, from my own experience doing it already up to now, politics, Kenyan politics is very expensive because to run a genuine campaign, especially let's say a good campaign would get to about 15 million Kenyan shillings.
But you're 15 million?
There's no young person below 35 years
or what 15?
Who is working genuine work over the 50 million to run for that. So, but also that is not going to stop us from running because leadership has evolved. Over I want to change it because money they want to go to limit from going for these seats.
But you already said
yes, it is true, but we have to change this culture because everything we go to because to me about 15 million. All this duration, there's no development, there's nothing. So, but I think going forward, 2027 elections, they'll achieve the change game of elections in this country because in general, abantu basoire ko kumanya barai taribesa. Abarai it is the genuine character, genuine desire, and okwerwa. So money in 2027 is not going to be a big deal. They're going to be elected even without spending much of their money. But
because Montanaro ora giunga uisa konchora una anchirik timbu atibese ichura kini wanchora singi jina wate manifesto ngwanda gali ngochinde kora bono kole na nchendare weka nge brand ndara tenenga da orobole masekete and I'm using public resources okora.
Yeah, that one is very simple. In a way controlled if only the institutions chisoyo kora egasi yabo because by the way going forward, and I'm really praying God that young people want a chance here your colleague 2027. We need to change the constitution. Let's go chama chikama ye. Omuntu na corruptions. There must be a nyongwe, death sentence. Hapo sasa ndio tunafika. Unyonge watu wawili watatu abantu wangena bako.
Abantu bakanyora na corruption matembali babere birogo. Do you think baromba nche kure birogo epipa chikoito?
No, you know, that's what I'm telling. Richi kondiroro. In fact, very few people because I made 200 million, but I find here 50 million. So still there is a deficit of 150 million. So what are you trying to send the message to the public? In that you can steal more money, bribe this little money, and then you still walk out here.
Nothing happens.
But the majority wananchi wanaumia. So going forward, I think Tiatura changing constitution and it's only young people are going to do this to help us. Abantu basore positions without using their money, they have been elected genuinely without using the resources. If we do that, yes, we're gonna get it right.
Because what about because according to her, the problem when as much as you bonge or senator or women rep or MCA no governor the challenges, but he which I presidency. Actually he's quoting an example ya Morara Kevaso, who was a youth or vocal during Gen Z demonstrations like or resigned to politics. So which I used to collect
for the presidency. I think the problem is not even the presidency. They don't do background research.
I can only get back and
a problem when say Ruto. It is the constitution is not working because corruption is daily. But it still is working freely. But if we have the laws in place, without the interference of the state, you can look about the interference of the state.
Yes.
The judiciary has been compromised in that at the end of the day is still going to work out free. So I think we have to make the constitution to work we be serious law-abiding citizens without interference of the state. If we do that, but for now, anybody can be a leader, anybody can be a president, but still, no matter what he can be a president and still achieve very little. Because if there's going to be interference of the state to the institutions, or interfere judiciary, the police will interfere, parliament, you compromise it. There's nothing that is going to move. Nothing is going to move. Easily because there was interference of the state. The president calls the our bunga go and beat that person, remove him from power, because it's a problem to us, So that is interference of the state. And even then we will be a lot of problems at the end of the day. So if the government isolates ATEKA institutions to work independently, even to be come on EACC, it can chase corruption without interference. But when you are EACC, it is stressing this governor. But this governor a good relationship with the president. So just one phone call from the president, this government, this governor cannot be pursued. No, mtu ameiba karibu almost $1 billion ya pesa ya wananchi.
See the problem if the president is corrupt, even if the governor is corrupt, nothing will happen.
Yes, obvious. If the president is corrupt, because part of this, because Kenya won against Corona, keromo ntoya irwe eliwe yoko ibachimesa. These people, they got a stake. Now, what percentage? But in Chile, that's montomo. Only monto ibere public money about 500 million. Chiba say chinko na chile kero monto konyo rana shagete. So there's a lot of interference in that. No EACC cannot pursue this case. So it is so hard about that.
Emono sana nalege yuko bolinga pomweshimiwa yomo sa ukwanire wiyara kini erengu chale ko bole bujumbe ba West Mugiranga to bwatibese. Igata itakote yabo sayambali kibesa bamochi koligebiro ngoche tole to kwanire iyo kolende nganchiro mwancho molili nkomanya mangana go twekera semeze ito mangana mayani go nkomanya kubona mo governor bwe county ya Isiolo Moske Abdigulie iganya reko bakawo survive impeachment you mean anything about on kogendera nemiremo onyege songe kina ki understand buya kale komanya goiga na head of editorial Brighton Makoli abo igo Robert Ronde nkomanya kubona Moses Kuria iganya reko bakawo etige miremo kurwa se position iliyo kwa senior economic advisor ose omosemia we serikali asatebro na bono nigo usarule sababu yo gotabuna nigo aguchia koligeria manganande hayuale haya yebene use personal interests kure niganya rekaba gakoreria kurwa se oborai we serikali ya William Ruto marking the end of nearly 2.5 years tenure in Ruto's government inyoranga niga kabeiro mo waziri akaruororo akamanya gochorwa ko mo senior advisor kurwa se enseme yo boigoro botero nikomanya guno mo controller bwe budget ose nigo orobotiro mo controller budget nigo tanga gochake gatio mo tienyo gatano na kabiri July 2024 na boigo March 2025 delegation korwa 24 counties nigo yanyara kabake go tara chinse chiri cha Dubai agotumeka chibe se chinyinge sana ase ogo taro ko kolende kanene kalinga mugabana bwe county Isiolo Abdigulie nganya rekoba gakwetege charara se bunge ye senate chinga kibalinge gotegerera okogania komorusia bisi mheshimiwa togandirake to taraswa se siasa che county ya Nyamira wate anga na matia ngina chorwa honye tabu ati agenda ya Kenya there is nothing wate abano yabo Kalonzo if still they have no agenda there is nothing that is going to happen so are we not going to vote a different person 2027?
No, from where I'm sitting now I think the politics of this country is about a wave. But the young people, they want a new style of leadership. Before holding these positions. And when you check properly, on first sight, one commission is Dr. Fred Matiang'i. So, and when you compare because as one why should young people go for presidents? Presidency is somewhat tricky and I agree. Let the old be there. Why? For the meantime.
But the youths are complaining yes.
Yeah, it is true, but with a colleague, Dr. Fred Matiang'i.
Yes.
For the meantime.
Yes.
He has a good track record. And he has been holding various ministries. And at least we saw a change ekerarenga obisi. Unlike abantu ababeiro robonoiga, and there's nothing they're doing. So with Fred Matiang'i, and he's very strict, and Kerankoliriya, over I working about a very harsh in that, over somehow dictatorial. They told the line.
So you want us to elect a dictator?
Not really. Yeah, I don't dispute about that, but if dictatorship is going to give us we end corruption, I have no problem with that. Let it be. Yes.
So is Matiang'i a dictator?
Not really, but that kirokomoli range rao kwana, it means business na inde usikomoli reluya na inde komotegerera, it means well for this country. So from where I'm sitting, on me and my family, I know him fully.
But you see, a conversation ya for a long time about numbers chomogusi for presidency, about a backup for Mount Kenya, what interest as much as now impeached, tuwate kurwase Ukambani, Kalonzo Musyoka, tuwate Baba George Natembea kwa Trans Nzoia, tuwate Martha Karua bado kwa Mount Kenya. Do you think a team when each can move as one, get at least what we say yoko nyegeria William Ruto kuroboka? Because nero ma terrorists komo nyegeri.
Not really, but for the first time in history,
yes.
Our chori wa 2027 batch cover it sana. In that, we have a new generation of voters. Because we have a president and already there's nothing working in this game. Because we for the last elections, almost William Ruto is the current president of this country. He promised young people so many things. But out of those promises, there's nothing he has fulfilled. So Abantu, they still have that pain and that frustrations. So going forward, we have a new generation of voters but go vote out this government. And for the first time in history, we don't have numbers, every day they're not going to play out. Because we a youth from Trans Nzoia there, between Abantu this presidency. At random, no end the ballot on your this and this. Whatever, I'll vote this guy because Ekera Renge certain ministry, he did this and this. So I think for the first time in history, when everybody go to vote on the lines of we'll see we don't have numbers, in fact, even the running mate in 2020 is not going to matter. No.
The running mate is not going to matter.
It is not going to matter for the first time. Yes. For now, we only have Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Noenda bo Ikoyo, noenda bo Kamba, noenda Kisumu mate, no volume Montonega. Just say Fred Matiang'i. No chikobole running mate, nobody is interested about the running because running mate, there's nothing they add much. But so long as you are the head of state, that's when you will add value in this country.
Montorari ga kobolinga kwatebiro ya sana. What if chikura akerura kini oyoraro gose competitor yange? I think I mean it fairness. As a tallying and counting.
No, you know,
because even IBC form the one it will be quite well authority by the president or current. You what interest 2027? Okay,
for now that one we cannot rule it out, but just do your duty, go and vote. The rest leave it to IBC. You cannot even be able to steal the elections because that is what I think he means. The stealing of elections. Yeah, it is true. You are a trend for a very long time. But one which Monto is called if 90% of people they want this person out, you cannot fake. Now going forward, there is the power of social media. Polling. What they are only interested is the presidential vote only.
Yes.
And they are very interested. So presidential vote, it ends very fast. Kobara presidential votes only get to kia Getembe. You know? Getembe polling station. You know? Uzinyamataro polling station. Onye Dr. Fred Matiang'i kwa chabere 200, it should be streamlined paka area national tallying standard 200. So it is not easy for you to fake. On social media it is all over. The government is trying to act because of through the power of social media. No na maskari yabara sabantu. Why it's not the power of social media? There will be no case. So the same way the power of social media, it is going to help us to ensure that Matiang'i wins the president in 2027. Yes.
You said you are going to vie for an MP seat.
Yeah.
Nairo Nyamira, West Mongran.
Yes, West.
What tokuru sema Mheshimiwa Steve Mogaka wakili.
Yes.
Why?
He has failed. As to a majority, he has failed, he has done nothing, and we have very few years left.
What do you mean he has done nothing?
The expectation we had from him, he has fulfilled none. Everyone is calling it the state of the roads from where I come from. They are very pathetic. Those roads are not passable. Uwezi pita, barabara. So, he has
West
failed.
Mogirango kawasine county yengi.
Not really maite chiparanchiro chi county, chiparanchiro cha national government, chiparanchiro chia chumujumba abwente korosi. So Steve Mugaga have been very reluctant and is not, most of the time is not in the field komanya the immediate problems abantu baito bagwetera. You know, is not accessible. In fact, is not accessible. Not accessible at all. So that's why we are saying young people, when the young people have been given a chance to lead this country, we are young people and
yes.
So you should even talk to me because One is almost 60 years old. It cannot benefit that parent. But in Jabon, you can talk to me on this chance. Maybe where you are a graduate, I can assist you get a job. We even don't need assistance of getting a job. We just need a favorable environment. If you apply for a job, you just get a call and you go for the interview without any interference, any corruption, any bribe. You get that job genuinely. Things were working so well. Corruption was there, but minimized in that anybody who graduate, getting a job was very easy. But because it is jobs. There's nothing young people they need. It is just jobs. Other things can wait. It is just jobs.
Mondrayo kubolinga ngo chinde so machi jumbe chabo Orioki Joseph Victor Onyoki Ninchiroche lakini aliko kubolinga korugesamia ruo runo mobunge squeeze West Mogirango bakobeko monto 5 years choka akoleta akora. Is that the case? Is that the reason?
You might know in most cases some might election like let's forget about the election which have been there before. There's a new generation of voters. And these people, to change their mind is going to be very difficult because they have already decided and they know what they want exactly. That's why West Korea population, especially from where I come from, Nyamira County, and especially my constituency, we have so many young people there who surpasses the population of the old people there. So up and the young people, if they decide, let's vote this person out, let's put our own, with or without money. A young person can lead, and a young person, I think a young person can do better than these people because in Chennai, we know our problems, we know what we need exactly. So I can easily help you other than these old people who really have got no clue. Things have changed. We are in the blue economy times. So those tactics are kitambo. They're not working at this generation at the moment, you know. So I think unless we do generational change of leadership,
yes,
the problems are going to be they're going to be multiplied from one year to another. Yep.
Lakini kwa tewe West Mogirango magana na manga tara kolekana tara ikira niguwa chipara chinguru chomolero maybe and so forth. Generally county ya Nyamira was the problem.
Okay. Yeah, it is true. County ya Nyamira was the problem in the government. They also has failed. And in fact, Nyamira is one of the counties. Oh my God, you're going forward. A county like Nyamira, since devolution, Nyamira is still the same. Change. It is still the same. Because I think our leaders and our voters, they don't know why they need to elect this person. For business to thrive, abasaibanyo chigas very ke chigas omondo kubori ugavana bonega. And this one I'm just saying without playing games and very serious about this. Bonega Nyamira County going forward, omondo kuchikochorwa should come. We are going to do vetting. In fact, I'm going to lead young people to help us to vet the right people for that position.
What do you mean vetting?
Vetting means
but as much as are cleared.
Yeah, you are true. But before that, Because abantu I will give them a chance to do what they want, they're going to mess us still. So I'm going to try my best to unite the young people.
Accounting.
Okay, you know, Kerokwa unites a small population, the rest will join. Just having strong team, the rest will join later, and they will rally for the same cause. That's number one. So, going forward, Buna Nyamira, we are not going to elect somebody, especially ACT and a governor at random. If we want to help that county, we need to do vetting. If there are 5 of them, we vet them. What do you have for us? As young people, was as we to wakai nyumbani. It is we young people. Kongaina young person, it is so hard.
So in short, yes.
Yes, we ask them Jenny because since to men should to and we know the problems we are facing day in day out, of which our mothers they have no clue about.
Do you think that can be of success?
It can. If we agree, we want, if we speak the same language, you know, it is because people they speak the same language. Our successful. So if we do that, you want to govern? Yes. What do you have? Which agenda do you have? Tunaongea wewe na wewe, tunakusikia. Because for example, bona Nyamira bonega, the immediate thing itakero muntu chikoli wa governor bonega. The first thing that kuboli wa. In a cura change Nyamira to be a 24-hour economy. Any county that is not 24-hour economy, it's not making sense. At this time, it is dark. I want to match the village. Omonto, the weather was bad today. In fact, even it rained some parts. So Omonto tebe oigwire biasara from 8 in the morning. That time they are busy in their shamba, wakoapi, mogondo, whatever. You know, so biasara probably they come from noon. That noon in Braya Ture. Especially when you are on Chichiro, whatever. So there's no business there. Okay. Omonto a boda rider. This young boy, a boda rider. You know, he has a family. Okay. Unless there's business 24-hour. Very late working hours to be extended, and the only can be extended is through having a 24-hour economy. But young people can employ themselves, they work for long hours, hotels investors they come, at least and we can see value of that country. Because they have no idea on what a county is. They have absolutely no idea. Because governor, those are basics. The first thing benefit change Nyamira County to be a 24-hour economy. If a governor gets that one right, yes, so there's a lot of things going. At this time,
that's true.
Nyamira cannot find it. And there's Nyamira, Kisi's account, Nyamira's account. Why not do that in Nyamira? Because our leaders, there's no leader who has opened up that mind, who come up with the solution of opening Nyamira to be a 24-hour economy. So any leader, if he has got no any clue about that, that person is not fit. In fact, come at 10-11, we don't have somebody with that type of idea. We don't need to have a county in Nyamira. Ready to be combined with Kisi County, we have one county.
If assuming kwa mwanyo Romonto motage top what that ambition you will change every 24-hour economy na koleta moncholio. Do you thinking an era say erege kege go ikirani was it we catch a zero nere somewhere wo pick yoga and rego says it's going to take some time. Ema go ikira se birengo biremontai.
It will take some time. It will take some time, but ne take time. So long as we arrive at what we want. Now, to the benefit of one, at least our children can get something. And we have to fight now. So we have to push for change at the moment. We are the young people with the energy to push on these things going forward so that we be better. They get at least a good environment. Yeah.
Mosa yakorwa se bonge abonchario yakoro ko mheshimiwa Kevin Mosomi agate analigireti agate ankorra biasana ekoro ba sabe wati ambition chokora akimo saiti agende go ikengo lirende take 2027 ya tebe a good way. By the way, that was to be my next question. Because abasaba bange baro bakora lingankoli bale birogo awikagali elections kwanyo romotatanga na bwate sirimontogete na bwate sirimontogete. At the end of the day after election sabantu basmanya moyo gate betubona no bwate numbers lakini nabokonga numbers ichungo kunigentogete gosenchiko ko opposition gete. Do you feeling abasangwe kabali baba compromised maybe because the resources chamo nchisa ini a competitor yebwata uwezo fulani ya kifedha motenga bono chikule cha se onya no mugichora habono nkuni ichinke yona njendae kingoswaga lebo bunge kunigento gete.
Yeah, that is true. Ikiona we weapon na simuntu always because the genesis of that problem is poverty ogotaka. Because onyo romo sai abwati support on the ground.
Ekinta bwati nigo.
Na ende omosai oyo abantu bamwanje bamwitabire. But on the other side, ndobato montonde. Tabuati population on the ground, tabuati population on the ground, lakini na wati chibesa. He can compromise this because most young people, either 1 million, they have never seen about 1 million. So, Keroko was a village boy who has a good vision for leadership, na endo mo compromise with even 1 million, tane kora 1 million before maisha yake.
Aba wanje.
He can withdraw from the rest. So, but we're not going to encourage that. And leadership is all about being selfless, and then, of course, money is very tempting, son. Money is very tempting, but it is not easy. But I hope young people, they don't choose money over leadership.
Lero korobekana nkole kuwali ngenya mira abanafunzi nkayetebe polytechnic wali korobekana chipara chimbe bali kwe mulungaliriye bora ibo mu MCB bwechinseme echo robot to bwate kora somo likito is one onyara kabaka gusiro bwo mugwaya singincho yokuraswa. What could you say about that?
Omaite bono ebintu bunebyo omaite the point here is from today's demonstrations omuntu nansiria obugima bwaye na ende na kibona obotayibona ekintu bune ukiabere because a constitution need to anjere tukorobekana so long as you are not armed and you are peaceful. Sometimes wanongo ikera paskali baremewa and because they want to protect also their lives they can use force. So first of all, to my condolences to that family.
Yes.
For that person who has lost his or her life. But I want to know IPOA comes in. Independence, police oversight authority. I want to come in without interference. Now we go pursue that matter genuinely, and if there's case, if there are police officers who acted illegally, they can be pursued, and then they face the law. So I want to take a report because there's nothing we can do as common wananchi. But we hope going forward, leadership ujia chikobora uchimoto. Nebe kemikakati ya abantu barobekana, it is peaceful and it is genuine. In fact, we don't need even demonstrations. We just need the government to do the right thing.
Yeah. If
the government does the right thing, people will be busy with their businesses. So let the government do the right thing, and then because so many young people have lost their lives every day.
Yeah.
Every stations, there's loss of lives. So we hope, please, government, to get a way for these young people, and then do the right thing, no loss of lives. Kenya yenda mbele. Yeah.
Memono sana abantu abangi sana bakoligira sensibility ya Facebook yako kwa Teresa Kemuntu korwa Karatina pamoja Peter Hoods komenda gatanga watching live korwa ria misi etundubali akuboli nga kerokenda yoresa ko chorule ntongero rokera usinyo kora ngo chuli kwero neliyo Isaya Molemo mochokoro okiyuka watching live kore Mbakasi Nairobi Rocky Joseph korwa Nyangusu wokawa show streaming live kore Nyangusu bokinami ngatira bokore ne liboli elyo abo iko nalege golinge koboli liboli ntenali ngekoligiga alinge gotenga maraga nere nkoboli ali lakini ngwa kwa negolo ya matiangi. Don't you thinking aba gusito bagaine maboli yabe na bokora era nalika
no you know bawote banga let the best team win. So it's a corrigeria. Politics is not an easy game. Na in the tete want to be too soft as the likes of Maraga. So it's a corrigeria. We have only two people. It is only President Ruto and Fred Matiang'i. Other people beyond that. Okay, you can participate in an election, but winning is also different. Kuna participation and there's winning.
Maraga participate.
Yes. So Maraga is just a participant in this election. So we don't need to pay much attention on that because politics need a lot of things, a lot of resources, especially for these top seats.
A lot of energy.
And a lot of influence. So, Maraga, is too soft. It's too soft, and the keroko mohoj is not too fast. It's not quick. Kenya want to get them very quick and very sharp. So Maraga, this is not his chance. Maybe maybe your senator Wanyamira, he can do better. But Ugaria, Tigara Machang for the meantime. Yeah, maybe you can consider him in the future. Yes. But I advise him to retire and watch it from home.
Nganjira ko baliama bali abere asamagana atonyara ko tokomanya mwanchu muligeria. Moses Kuria is a senior government advisor, has resigned.
Okay.
What can you say about that?
Moses Kuria, you know, politics is about interest. Abantu na the likes of Moses Kuria, they don't need to be even in government because bali ko ligibesa. But there's a difference between want to colleagues and want to overtake a certain position. Abantu na Moses Kuria, they have everything, they have a lot of money. So what they are considering now,
most of the people muraibara serikali, they have resources.
Yeah, abantu matembare wataka to remain in the government, to protect what they have. You know, in the government, they have been in government, there are a lot of business deals. There's a lot of business deals. Kule mitumbiro wiko and gerodi inside government, and like gerodi isko. Lakini mtuna former governor Mwangi wa Iria.
Yes.
Alikuwa kwa timu ya kina Kalonzo and these opposition leaders. Keraba said kumpasung Keraling governor, he participated on some corruption instances. So Kera withdraw it at I want to take a position, let me remain silent life. Nobody has ever pursued him. So Matuna Moses Kuria Bonaiga, they have seen the way from where they come from. There's nothing they're going to do much. Nainde, they want to deassociate themselves from this government. Now it may be because last elections he tried to vie for governor position, but the party on that side, UDA, won the elections. So Bonoiga, I think, is trying to position himself for the sake of being relevant in the future politics. To make the ground for himself, to disassociate himself from the current regime, for the future interest.
Are you saying about the interest in Kenya which
Yes, it is true, because when it's this government has really failed. When you call in this government and you have failed, how can you convince people again? You have that position to do change. So I think now these people, they just, and they're going to see many of them. For the time remaining, they're going to withdraw from William Ruto, is going to remain alone, and they're going to pursue their own personal interests.
Emono sana twende tusangana mushimo iso ekrondo chinga kyetu kya myokere sana muchine ko mwali baganyale ko ba kago rwenkwana yabe no kya saba sabe county ya Nyamira, lakini mushimiwa ekaro to kwa se county ya Nyamira kwa kanyora liba kabona igano mugabana because ngwate ebintu mbi failure ya se county iyo mangana taraikirana kwa kanyora liba gano mugabana no musikamo sinyalibo because yera na tebanga une county assembly ya Nyamira bagolde biragita elikomeke azizi bona namafutoka bakobeka bana bali machipara era na teba buna ngo cyare ko nki abana nko bali rungoli as school but as from you as Gen Zs and abasae nabana siasa kore county ya Nyamira bali mubwate interest mo watanga keden ke yakol. What could you say to the governor and the leadership ya county ya Nyamira keke ni liko korwa nabo igo ekarobo igo tocho kwanele bunge West Mugrango nkiura chikote mu wakilist mugaka as much as tararu wabisi na mo watanga chimole ko morusoro.
So, if I get a chance to meet the governor,
yes,
he should write to the government, to the president, to dissolve that county. For now, to dissolve that county. He should write a letter to the president to dissolve that county. Because there is a lot of money that is coming to the county of Nyamira. So what is the need of him being in office? There are two options. Is you write the letter, this account to be dissolved, or say he should resign. Those are the only options left. Because also I've seen them MCs, they are trying to push for his impeachment, but it is too late. No impeach, because no impeach the governor, to take over, it is the deputy governor. Also the deputy governor Njeranko Mustadi, and the way I've seen him is another failure. So
deputy governor?
Yes. So Keroko remove this person, then you replace with the worst person. It does not make any sense. That's why they say two wrongs doesn't make a right. The only solution is that this governor should resign and or to write the letter to the president because the president has that power to dissolve that. It can be dissolved for the meantime.
It can be dissolved?
Yes, we remain in the county because there are so many places. Yeah, because we don't need a county in Nyamira. Why? Because in Kichibe as a lot of millions in the county, there's no need. Because is a problem. So what if it is flooding?
Akilimo senator na bwateli bakali oversight musiko kwa mugeni. Role kiera April as county enemy.
You know, almost senator is just
because the oversight and see where the problem is because I
think senators doesn't have that too much. Why? Because there's an oversight. The problem starts with the MCS. You know, if the MCS decide to impeach the governor, onanga kesi yetu akorete kale sana. But you find a big faction ya MCA, they being bribed by the governor himself. They withdraw from the voting. But there's maybe this time now it may go through because I'm seeing some expelled because they have not been having sittings. And a speaker, the new speaker he may decide to be neutral also. So they may push for him to get out of office. But still, I believe the only best time to have Nyamira work, it is in 2027. Let's bring new leaders. Only they're just fighting, they're just wasting public resources. There's nothing that's going to happen much.
Because everybody na really yange koba liya niliyo mwali gore yaba MC abo koba torocho mushimwa nyambega gisesa na abande patene ndiwe miremo maybe reasons abande mbaro batanya wikana nebikaro abande narocharia sumutanda karuto bagete post online bagatanga bono mwishimiwa okero na bikro speaker is fighting opponents bae. From where you sit opinion yaonere of what happened na baba bete suspended, is it the right thing to do?
Yes, so my before speaker to take that action abantu kuna standing a constitutional kuba guide as where they sit. So they have read through it and they are rolling and only Abantaba during this time we were having wrangles. Abantaba they went astray and but what the powers Yoko was suspended and then they can even be expelled. They can even removed from the office. So I think they're just trying to follow the constitution and they're standing orders for the county. So if somebody acted illegally and he was being paid salary, so he should go home. In fact, he should even be jailed. Yes, he should be in jail.
Lakini mataba MC mbara ke kuraba kamurusio mo speaker no ko kero agatema ko Rwanda atachit ko nyara ikamberwe kamo ke no ko mheshimiwa Thaddeus Nyabaro. Ere from Asole, do you think is going to have any change as a county government in Nyamira, county assembly? So it is too early to start judging him. So he's just new in that office and he was just an ordinary MCA. Let's see. It is too early to say that he can do this or that. Tiatora more time. There was a change in the Eva fight for. So Uganda more benefit of doubt. Ndiamona sana mheshimiwa Iswae. Ekamerene yao kwanira abakenya kwanza abasayibonsi. Alafu mwa kwanira mu Nyamira, mwa kwanira omonto West Mugeranga se county ya Nyamira.
Thank you so much my brother. So young people, let me speak English because this is national and it is going. This one, then I'll come to my local. Young people in this country, you see, we have so many problems in this country. And the only time we have to change this country is 2027. So the only thing I can urge my fellow youth, don't fear that you don't have money to go for these elections. Just get on yourself, get ready to take position of this country. Because the things we are fighting for, the only people can bring this change, it is we. There's nobody else. These old people, we just want to make them to retire completely out of this political space. Let us support young people with vision, and young people will be there so that if they do any mistake there, any mistake in between, they'll be held accountable because they have a long way to live, unlike these old people want to mess up with this country and they get out of it. So young people, please, let's stand out, let's be united, and let's be focused to change the leadership of this country. Abasai baito wa West Mogrango oborai asegusiga bwabeiro bobe naende tigatora tema gonchureri yake tore busaba saimba ibuliba ntori nabasai chikura senge nchonga babwati besa yo correct campaign but tigato vote young people because they have good ideas naende they mean well for our constituency and for our counties. So almost I only was sokiri and now what a genuine idea motegerere naende make your mind vote him in kora go kune idea just vote him in but abantu the old please we don't have any fight with the old people lakini tigatora onchururi boraya kibose bintu bichenchi yake because wonaiga umuntu ora yakonye no musaye akonye musaye wonde and then the country is kewchimoto so abantu baito ba West Mogrango nje LAMECK saibuna nabatebi na ende nkobori ndowe obo jume ba West Mogrango and I believe in change and I believe I'm going to do better than the current member of parliament because he has failed us and I think I'm the best person who is qualified for that position. So, na wanda vitu tu arabesa nyingi but
lakini watu
na tuanke yo chokora na around but I believe let's not vote leaders because of money and because they have small handouts they are going to give the wananchi. So let's vote leaders because they have a genuine desire to serve our country and to make sure that we move forward as in watu wetu wa West Mogrango will be on the ground, will be interacting with you. Tomerano ororo and LAMECK Isoya. I'm on the ballot come 2027 and I believe myself I'm gonna win this.
Na be county ya Nyamira kwa ujumla kiroto.
Now to be county ya Nyamira.
No borai.
Going forward. Omondo chikuboli wa governor, please tell us in a cura change Nyamira to a 24-hour economy. If you don't have that idea, please don't waste your time with chikuboli wa chikura because there's nothing you're going to do if you're not going to find the solution to that. So abantu waita tafadhali. Abantu wawe soki wa kuboli wa governor, they have their constitutional right to kuboli chikura. But please, let's vote on policy, on ideas, and on change. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Yuno mheshimiwa Isoya kurwase bunge ya West Mogrange county ya Nyamira narege yote anga ni tabanga nero gochiko ile keroge kyo West Mogrange to gwake kurarimo oyo tali okoremera mu nyara ko baga kurwara kuri no nyara ko baga kurekerengeri kiaye ase kemanyiriro Jumanne igoro yali nyara ko baka korekana sensi ya Kenya ntara koranga nchire bo igongiro rero kumanyiro botiruli na kumanyebo na Moses Kuria ni ganyara ko baka gwetige miremo buno mo senior economic advisor kurwase serikali ya William Ruto asanya rekabaga gusabwororo kurukinga kiarwete obo waziri anorobo trashkunya nakabotoko bwatia sinchira yobwange kigima eliyokwanekia buna twanyarire koba togo koletera asamangane tamaya yechinsainya twalingino mheshimiwa LAMECK Isoya kurwase bunge ya West Mogrange county ya Nyamira twanyara kabatogo kwanira amange asinchira ya bene kigima kwane abaiti mwingi matonyara kabatogo bwatera na gati abo mokogoti Joseph na Roigo Ruth Aluda na Joshua utakura sensema ya kabire studio toko bakiranga mbye mono tonyara ne wosena mokomera namo na Ivolino Sero chinsainye akumanye kemanyiriro Jumanne asinchira eriyobo ikirano kiri gonkoro kwa Eric Bosire nkoko banalia waligere borobia.
ATEKA TV Oborabu Wagusi.